It's important for us because the majority of our staff are actually starting and finishing from home. They are supporting our clients who generally have low vision and blindness, and that they themselves experience isolation in their day-to-day experience of life. Our clients, for example, range from toddlers right through to people in their 90s, and the services that we offer range from things like use of canes and obviously our dogs, our therapy dogs, our guide dogs, and importantly, technology. So technology is a key factor for people with low vision and blindness. It could be as simple as how they go about the community, how they get their news, their information, and their support. But of course, one of the big challenges for our clients, particularly, is the isolation that they experience, and an experience like COVID has certainly it's been a big factor. If I look at particularly in our work as an example, our staff work quite closely with the clients, and so the physical proximity is a factor in being able to successfully support and help them. And obviously with COVID, and particularly during those early stages of lockdown, they couldn't actually provide that same support. So it was moving to things like technology. So for the first time, our workforce, which have that very close and emotional relation and psychological relationship with our clients, were having to use things like technology, Zoom, and other factors to actually provide support, and the usual services they provided face-to-face and in close proximity. They were also dealing with interesting things, like we had clients who were, during those periods, if they were shopping, they had items stolen. The good old, remember the old toilet purchasing? Well, for our clients, we had examples where clients were shopping and they had items like that taken out of their trolleys. They were feeling the isolation because no one would want to be close to them given the social distancing. So the emotional toll on our clients at that time was great. And of course, when you work in the kind of work we do, the impact for our staff in experiencing that for our clients was huge. Along with, for a lot of our staff, they faced, like a lot of industries, having to work from home, having to balance their work along with things like childcare and caring responsibilities, and the isolation they themselves were experiencing during that period, particularly during severe periods of lockdown, were significant. So I think on top of that, for our workforce, managing the personal impacts and challenges in their own personal lives, as well as dealing with some of the human impact on those that actually they helped and support every day, were significant. So we ourselves did a lot of work around understanding that we need to provide support to not only to our clients, but also to our staff who were supporting those clients, but experiencing a number of challenges themselves on a day-to-day basis. We gave it a considerable thought, and I think during that period, we started to really think much more deeply about the flow and effect of the customer and the client experience to the staff experience, and understanding that work and personal lives are so blurred, and you need to be considering not just supporting in a practical way, but what are the emotional needs of your employees as well as your customers and clients, and how do you approach that? And I think the devastating floods have given us, another great analogy for how issues or problems that simmer underneath will rise to the top at the time of stress. So if I think about our own organisation's response, we were very, very fortunate. I think we'd done quite a lot of work in developing those employee relationships and wellbeing programs, so that when issues did arise, our own leaders and managers were able to actually support our staff in a variety of different ways and creative ways. So I think the resilience of our people, particularly our leaders and our managers, showed during that time. So investing in that in between these times of crisis are really important. And obviously, when an organisation has to deal with a crisis or sudden impact like COVID-19, I think it is an indicator of the health of the organisation at that time. So I think it showcases the need for things like embedding wellbeing, and we did things ranging from online mental health support to yoga, meditation, quick tips on how to manage, working remotely, technology, as well as building resilience into the culture and workforce constantly. And I think that's one of the big things that we've taken out from this experience, is that we need to continually be investing in how we build the emotional resilience and the culture of the organisation as an ongoing responsibility for us as an employer. Because if we don't do that, and our employees aren't feeling good and well, including emotionally, then they're not able to support our clients, who are actually facing considerable isolation at all times. One of the greatest things they face is emotional connection with people. So if our employees are feeling that, how can they possibly support a much needed support of a very vulnerable group of people that we're responsible for supporting? So all of those things are important, and that constant understanding that personal life and work life do blend, and how do you approach that as an employer?